It sounds to me like you're making apologies for racism and fascism.
Of course I'm not. You idiot. Listen, I've told you there is vile things happening that differ.
Why are you bothered about...
Get him off. I don't want to listen. I do not want to speak to a man, frankly, who seems to have a pathological problem with the truth. Idiot.
I don't like clowns.
Just roll the clip.
All right, let's see what we're dealing with.
You know, we have to stay woke. Like, everybody needs to be woke. and you can talk about if you're the wokest or woker, but just stay more woke than less woke.
Yeah. Wow, that is pretty woke. In an interview with a Glamour magazine, she explained what caused her to be so woke.
There are some real silver linings about what this moment in time has done to maybe cause a lot of us to be woke. And I love it. I love it. But folks are woke, and I love it. I love it.
She loves it.
And let's have a look at
what that means.
When ordinary men and women were putting their pictures up on Twitter, who frankly just looked like, you know, Bob and Jane next door, and people who served in the army and former police officers, and people of all colours and creeds saying, I am now a far-right side. Were they?
We need to address a bigger problem here, okay? And it makes people uncomfortable, and I'm sorry about that. But when people say, am I far-right? Am I racist because I hold these views? Then if you do hold those views, then yes, you are.
Okay, what are these views? Where do we define this? Because when this began, right, there's definitely a hardened, vile core of people going out right now, mobile around the country, trashing our country, defiling our flag. That I agree with. But this started, actually, with a huge caucus of people concerned about uncontrolled immigration.
No,
is that a far right? It
didn't start with that, Alex. It didn't start with that. It started with lies and misinformation from people who seek division. You know, Andrew Tate.
This has got nothing to do with Andrew Tate. Andrew Tate did not suddenly get a lot of ordinary Brits upset about what is changing in their communities.
Because people, yes, he did, because people follow him online. He's the most searched man on the internet.
I worry that people like you have swallowed your own narrative to the extent that for some reason you cannot see the wood from the trees. You have spent so long gaslighting us that problems we see happening in our society don't exist and that they are our fault, and you're doing it again. You are repeating that language and that narrative. When are you going to go into listening mode and understand actually that discontent comes from something? It comes from, be it material need, it comes from a lack of integration and social concerns. When are you going to understand that? And instead of just
it sounds to me like you're making... It sounds to me like you're making apologies for racism and fascism.
Of course I'm not. You idiot. Listen, I've told you there is vile things happening that differ.
Why are you bothered about...
Get him off. I don't want to listen. I do not want to speak to a man, frankly, who seems to have a pathological problem with the truth. Idiot.
Fatality.
And it gets considerably worse when it comes to illegal immigration. She's on the record supporting free healthcare for illegal immigrants, not even wanting the term illegal to be used. And she's even passionately defended those who pay human traffickers to bring them across the border. Like most neo-Marxists, she's at her core pro-open borders. She even sought to compare ICE, that's Immigration and Custom Enforcement, to the Ku Klux Klan. I wish I was kidding.
Well, the Klan was what we would call today a domestic terrorist group.
Why? Why would we call them domestic terrorist group?
Because they tried to use fear and force to change political environment.
And what was the motivation for the use of fear and force?
It was based on race and ethnicity.
Right. Are you aware of the perception of many about how the power and the discretion at ICE is being used to enforce the laws? And do you see any parallels?
I do not see any parallels between
I'm talking about perception.
Officers and agents.
I'm talking about perception.
I do not see a parallel between what is constitutionally mandated as it relates to enforcing the law.
Are you aware that there's a perception?
I see no.
Are you aware that there's a perception?
That puts ICE in the same category as the KKK. Is that what you're asking me?
Yes, it is.
You know what I love is what a chameleon Kamala is. I mean, she was raised in California and Canada, but she can go all southern and urban when in front of a mainly black crowd.
I said to the congressman, I didn't know he could preach like that. Yeah, girl, I'm out here in these streets, and let me tell you, as they say, they not like us. Do I see people testifying? Can I get a witness?
She remind you of someone?
I don't feel no ways tired. I come too far from where I started from. Nobody told me that the road would be easy. I don't believe he brought me this far to leave me.
Holy shit, right?
They are like that?
Yes. Yes, they are.
What else are you going to do to fix this problem with inflation?
All right, thank you. Well, let's start with this. Prices have gone up, and families and individuals are dealing with the realities of that bread costs more, that gas costs more. And we have to understand what that means. That's about the cost of living going up. That's about having to stress and stretch limited resources. That's about a source of stress for families that is not only economic, but is on a daily level, something that is a heavy weight to carry. So it is something that we take very seriously. Very seriously.
That's the woman they're presenting as an inspired, strong leader who can lead us all in the free world.
Holy fuck.
It's an understatement. Leave it. Come on. Whoa.
It is a messed up world.